Good afternoon. Okay, so today we're gonna discuss about our peers evolution based on the rubric. So, my name is Amir Hadri, and the first one is Ain Mashita, right?
My name is Nur Aimashita binti Saufi from Early Childhood Education.
My name is Nur Anis Aini binti Muhammad Nawawi from Bachelor in Early Childhood Education.
My name is Nur Shafika Aisha binti Fadri from Early Childhood Education.
My name is Nashavika binti Mahmud. I'm from Bachelor Early Childhood Education.
Okay. So, this is your host today. My name is Amir Hadri, and I'm from Bachelor Culinary Arts. So, we begin for our first question. So, what were three main things that you guys learned? We start with Ain Mashita.
Um, what I learned in this course is the confidence to communicate with people I don't know well. As a result, I believe I will be able to get along with others around me. Furthermore, in terms of self-assurance, I can speak with confidence since I can make eye contact with the audience. Obviously, this situation gives me the confidence to talk in public. I learned through this subject that my English speaking is more fluent than before. This is because this subject requires a lot of oral speaking, which requires a lot of communication among students. Finally, I learned from this subject that I can think more imaginatively about how to apply games, including oral communication abilities. Um, as a result, my group member and I seeking for new ideas for weekly events. Finally, our group created a game in which participants had to act out the role assigned to them. Clearly, the game we played was a success and to spoken communication. That's all from me. Sorry, Miss Ayi, you mute.
So okay, we move to the next participant, which is Nur Anis. So Nur Anis, what's your three main things that you learned in this subject?
What I learned in this subject is in terms of self-confidence to communicate with people around me, even I don't know them deeply, but I can see myself being able to get along with people around me. So in addition, in terms of self-confidence, I can speak with self-confident in the way I able to make eye contact with the audience. So obviously, the situation helped me to have the courage to speak in front of people. Next, what I got it from this subject is that my conversation in English more fluent than before. So this is because this subject used a lot of oral, therefore this subject used a lot of communication between each others. And finally, what I got it from this subject is that I can think more creative to implement games related to oral communication skills. Therefore, me and my group member are looking for creative idea for weekly activities. So finally, a group of us made a game where the participant had to acting according to the character givens. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Miss Anis. So next we move to Miss Shafika Arisha. So how about you? What's your three main things that you learned from this subject?
Okay, the three main things that I learned from the subject in work in group and discuss together with group. The cooperation with group working together will make things easier to do faster and more effectively. However, any work should be a teamwork. Group work means collaborative learning environment where students work through problems and assessment together. Students are able to delegate roles and responsibilities, pool their knowledge and skill and receive support from one another. Second and last main thing that I learned from this subject is bold when speaking. I in this subject required a lot of courage because the activities help require courage to speak in front of pupils. That's all for me.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Shafika. So we move to the last, maybe not last, because I'm the last. So we move to the Nur Shafika. So what's your three main things that you learned from this subject?
Okay, the three things I have learned are the first one is you need to have self-confidence. This is because having a confident attitude will make it easier for ourselves and our group to complete the given task. Second, cooperate among group members. This is because with the cooperation of field of members, it will certainly make it easier to complete the given task. Last but not least is need to accept each other's opinion. This is to prevent fight between group members. We must take care of each group member's heart because we need to each other to work together to complete the given task. That's all for me.
Okay, nice wrapping. So about me, the three main things that I learned from the subject is the first one is ways to control the crowd. Yes, we need to handle all of the groups. So the next thing is embrace to confidence. We learn to be a confident person, and the last thing is handling a large number of people. So we move to the second question. What was new or surprising to me? Okay, so we return to the first Ain Mashita. So what's your new or surprising thing happened to in this subject?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ayi. Um, what impressed me was that all the participants offer excellent suggestion for how to play the game. Obviously, each person must use their own imagination to act out the character that we have created. It is apparent that all the participants in this game took at the storylines created by the participants based on their separate groups. That's all for me.
Okay, thank you, Miss Mashita. So next we move to the Miss Anis. So what's your new or surprising thing happened to you in this subject?
What surprised me was that all the participants had great idea to implement the games. So all the participants have their own creativity to acting according to their character, which is we have plans. So is it clearly that all participants who participate this game log and the storyline made by participants according to their respective group. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Miss Anis. So we move to the next person is Miss Arisha. Miss Arisha, what's the new thing or surprising thing happened to you?
Okay, on this subject, what things that surprising to me is me and my group was able to handle one activities on that time. However, I was surprised because our student focus and feel happy in our activities. In addition, I feel PEC 201 were hard but is easier to me and our student. This subject is very fun and can release our tension. Me and my group do one this activity because can use the confident level each group while doing the characteristic on movie like play the role yourself according to their own creativity. I also doing the best activity to be able my best to feel very fun and happy to their students. That's all for me.
Okay, thank you, Miss Arisha. So we move to the Nur Shafika. Miss Shafika, so what's the new or surprising thing happened to you in this subject?
What Okay, what surprised me was that all the groups had a talent for acting spontaneously. My group has done an activity that is acting according to the character and story given. This game is actually not easy because the given character does not match the given story. For example, I met a character and the story is the Fast and Furious. So after they act according to the story and character they choose, I was very surprised because they have great talent and can make everyone laugh out loud.
A little bit lagging, but thank you, Miss Shafika. So, in my opinions, the new or surprising thing that happens to me is the changing identity of me from a shy person to a confident person. So next, we move to the third question. So, Miss Ain, what have changed your mind about as a result of this question? Thank you.
Very good. Alright. Thank you, Ayi. Um, I'm not a social person and just talk to close polls. But after I observing all the participants in this PEC 201 class, I have learned that it's crucial to be bold enough to talk to everyone and more importantly, confident enough to interact with everyone. Um, we learn to get to know each other here by conversing with them or by how they treat us. So I thank this PC 201 subject for letting me realize how vital it is to communicate with others. That's all for me.
Okay, thank you, Miss Mashita. So we move to the next, Miss Anis. So, so what have changed your mind about as a result of these sessions?
Because of I rarely talk to anyone except my close friend. So after I'm joined the subject PEC 201, I have learned a lot of things. So because of this subject, I brave to talk to everyone and most importantly, overconfident to communicate with everyone. So here I can learn to get to know each person through conversation or the way they treat us. So I think PEC 201 subject for making me realize that communicating is very important. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Miss Anis. So we move to the third person, Miss Alisha. So, Miss Alisha, what have you changed your mind about as a result of this session?
Okay, as I changed my mind after the session is that I can learn from this subject is I can be more friendly with other people. This can be more confident to speak in front of everyone. In PEC 201, I also know each other to discuss about their activity. In addition, but feel that I have is I'm not confident to speak in front of other people, but in this subject, I can try my best to be more confident, especially conduct the activities to everyone. Lastly, I also grateful because have a very lucky friend and having a very caring friends. That's all for me.
Okay, thank you, Miss Alisha. So we move to the next person, Miss Shafika. Okay, so Miss Shafika, uh, what have what have changed your mind about as a result of this session?
So I am a person who does not like to socialize and rarely talk to anyone except my close friends. But after seeing all the students through this PEC 201 subject, I have learned a lot that it is necessary to be brave to talk to everyone and most importantly, to be confident to communicate with everyone. Here, we learn to get to know each person through conversation or the way they treat us. So, I thank this PEC 201 subject for making me realize that communicating with each other is very important for yourself.
Okay, thank you, Miss Shafika. So in my opinions about myself, so the the thing that I changed my mind about as a result of this system is I changed my introvert person into the extrovert person. Means I move to communicate people as a result of this. So we move to the fourth question. Based on this session, what what are the areas which I need to develop in further? So we move to Anita.
Okay. But what I need to improve is my communication skills since I need to communicate with many people to formulate questions and to grow more sociable and active to get along in class, especially when it comes to asking questions about things I don't understand. I need to improve my communication skill with each other. Finally, to fulfill my aim of becoming a teacher, I should polish my skills polish my skills. So this is very important for my future. That's all for me.
Okay, thank you, Anita. So what about Miss Anis? Based on this session, what are the areas which you need to develop in future?
Mm. What I need to develop in this term of communication because I need to interact with many people. So I need to make myself more social, more confident, and more active. So because of my ambition is as a teacher, so this is very important for me. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Miss Anis. So we move to the next person, Arisha. So Arisha, based on this session, what are the areas which you need to develop in future?
Okay, this area that I need to develop is the self-confidence. It is because my self-confidence is so bad. However, when the subject I learn, I want to develop my self-confidence to high level. I like my self-confidence because I feel everyone will listen what I talk and what I speak in front of them. However, I want to try my best to be more high self-confident in this subject, to give others feel happy and understand what I say. Net is I need to their own skill. It is because I want my others people feel happy what they things that I create, especially games. And third is I want to be more brave to speak in many peoples. It is because why I career as a teacher, I need more brave to speak with other students to teach them.
Okay, thank you, Miss Arisha. So we move to the next person, Miss Shafika. So Miss Shafika, based on this session, what are the areas which you need to develop in future?
I need to develop my interpersonal skill level need to be changed and improve to become more confident and good at communicating with people. Also, this is very important to me because I need to be friends with everyone. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Miss Shafika. So in my perspective, based on this session, the only thing that I need to develop in future is the way of my communications and my body language. So we move to the next questions. What is one thing that you guys most like about this subject? So Ain, Mashita, go on.
Um, Wait. The problem is that the presence of each group is never sufficient. They are groups, for example, whose members are missing. This will make group activities harder. It is difficult to get their attentions, and it's very difficult to explain the game because they are not paying attention and they enjoy talking loudly to each other and making the situation deafening. That's all for me.
Okay, thank you, Anita. So we move to the next person, Anis. Anis, so what is the one thing which you most like about this subject? Thank you.
I think for this issue, some of groups are incomplete due to absence. So because of this problem, it's a little bit hard for me to do group activities. And the next is some of people don't pay attention. So they like to talk each other loudly cause the situation to become noisy. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Anis. I think I make a mistake before, so we just continue. So Alisha, what is one thing that you still unsure about some issues? What are they?
Issues they not focus that activity was carried out. It is because some students were talking more about other things than focusing on the activities being carried out. However, they also did not cooperate during introduction session. That's all for me.
Okay, last we got Shafika. Shafika, what is one thing that you still unsure about some issues? What is it?
The issue faced is that the presence of each group is never enough. For example, there are groups whose members are incomplete due to absence. This will make it difficult to move to do group activities. Next, it is hard to get attention from them. When giving an explanation for the given game, it's quite difficult because they don't pay attention. They like to talk to each other loudly and cause the situation to become noisy.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Shafika. But based on my perspective, instead of another group problems, I think I blame on myself that I got a lack of way of communications and body language. And the issue is right here, to be a computer person, you need to be very, very great in communication and body language. So we move to the next question. What is the one thing that you guys most like about the subject?
Okay. What I like about this topic is that it allowed me to meet new individuals. In addition, during my weekly events, I can polish my public speaking skills and communicate with the participants. Obviously, this will help me overcome my shyness when speaking in public. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Aimashita. So we move to the Anis. Anis, based on the subject, what what the most thing you like about the subject?
Because of I'm shyness person, because of this subject, I can meet new people. So because of this, I can more confidently to talk front of people. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Anis. So we move to Arisha. Arisha, what the most thing you like about the subject?
One thing that I like from this subject is about communicate with each other. This subject can communicate each other what need to ask the question and can be more easier to solve their problems. In this subject also give their shy person to be more brave to speak in front of another person. That's all for me.
So Shafika, what is the most thing you like about the subject?
What I like most is being able to make friends with everyone because we communicate with everyone even we never know each other. By studying this subject as well, I can learn to be a self-confident person and not have to be shy with others. I was also able to change my way of communicating for the better with other and easily make friends with any student. Thank you.
Okay, so based on myself, the most thing I like about this subject is handling the event. I can handle the event, I can handle the people, and that's from me. So we move to the next question. What is the one thing that you most dislike about this subject? So we move to the Ain Mashita.
Alright, what I dislike was that I'm hesitant to speak in public. I'm not secure enough in myself to do things in public. I'm concerned that people will judge me based on my talent and how I show myself in front of them. That's all for me.
Okay, Anis. So what's your most disliked thing about this subject?
What I don't like this subject is I afraid to speak in front of people, so I don't feel confident in myself to do something in front of people. But I try my best to speaking and to speak in front of people. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Anis. So we move to Miss Shafika. Arisha. Okay, Arisha, what's your most disliked thing about this subject?
Many people think that subject is very fun, but at the same time, this subject has a bad feel, like especially speak in front of another people. At the same time, I feel nervous and shyness. That is my problem in this subject. That's all for me.
Okay, thank you, Arisha. So we move to the Shafika. So Shafika, what is the one thing that you most dislike about this subject?
What I most dislike is I am afraid to speak in front of people. I don't feel confident in myself to do something in front of people. I worry about people judging me from my talent and the way I present in front of them. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Miss Shafika. So we move to the next. Okay, before we move to the next question, so uh, there are nothing that I dislike about subject. Everything is fun. Everything is great. Everything is cool. So we move to the next question. What are some of the miscellaneous interesting facts that you guys learned in this session? So Ain, go on.
Okay, thank you, Ayi. What I discovered is that I can reply extremely well during the group instructions with offering game instructions. Because of the ideas discussed among the members of our group, my brain worked well until I successfully accomplished the assigned assignment. I'm also enjoying because the game provided is quite intriguing and I thoroughly appreciate it. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Ain. So we move to Arisha. Arisha, so what is your or what is your identify or something like the miscellaneous interesting facts that you guys learn in this session? Go on, Arisha.
What I learned is that I can respond very well during the group task. Me and my group will apa ni will share with the group of our group. So I and my group successfully complete the given task. So I also feel very happy because the game giving is very interesting. That's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Anis. So we move to Arisha. Arisha, what are some of the miscellaneous interesting facts that you learned in this session?
Okay, interesting fact that I learned from this subject is take care of mental and physical health. Mental health includes our emotional, physiological, and social well-being. Meaning affect how we think, feel, and many more. It also helps determine how we handle stress related of others to make healthy choice. From this subject, I can take care of my mental and physical health. to be very fun. I also find my new friends, cause and constantly communication with them. That's all for me.
Okay, thank you, Miss Alisha. So we move to Shafika. So Shafika, what is your miscellaneous interesting facts that you learn in this session?
What I learned is that I can respond very well during the group task with giving instruction to the game. My brain worked very well due to idea share with the members of our group until I successfully complete the given task. I also feel very happy because the game given is very interesting and I really enjoy it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Shafika. So, based on my experience about the miscellaneous interesting fact that I learned in this session is, people can change their personality if they want. They can be from introvert into ambivert, from ambivert into extrovert, or sometimes, or some situation, they can change from introvert directly into extrovert people. So we move to the next question, Miss Ain Nishita. What are three issues that interested you a lot that you would like your lecturer for more detailed explanation? Go on.
Uh, okay. The issue that intrigues me is that I would like to hear words or recommendations from my lecturer about my games. And also, I want my lecturer to complain about my games, regardless of whether they are interesting or not. And I would like to learn how to interact effectively with everyone. This is critical for me to understand since I needed to make friends and communicate with others. That's all for me.
Okay, thank you, Miss Ain Nishita. So we move to Anis. Anis, what are three issues that interested you a lot?
The issues that interest me is I want to hear words or advice from my lecturer to give opinion about my games. I want him to complain about my games whether the game is interesting or not. So next, I also want to hear how to communicate properly with everyone. So this is very important for me to know because I need to make friends and communicate with other people. That's all for me.
Okay, thank you, Miss Anis. So we move to Miss Arisha. Miss Arisha, so what are the three issues that interested you a lot?
Okay, issues that are interested for me is self-confidence to speak English in front of another people. I also like to speak in a very short time. However, that thing was interested is I want to be more confident and proficient with my communication skills. I also interested why activity are my and my group were doing and making fun to another people. In addition, I would like to ask my lecturer how to increase my self-confidence in my own. That's all for me.
Okay, thank you, Miss Arisha. So we move to the Miss Shafika. So Miss Shafika, what are three issues that interest you a lot that you would like to ask your lecturer for more detailed explanation? Go on.
The issue that interests me is I want to hear word or advice from a lecturer to become a self-confident person. I want she to tell me way to be confident. Next, I also want to hear how to communicate properly with everyone. This is very important for me to know because I need it to make friends and communicate with other people.
Okay, thank you, Miss Shafika. But based on my opinion, there are the three issues that interested me a lot that I would like to ask Miss Dalila about for more detailed explanation. Is the first thing is how to become very confident without speak on the others. Second one, I think how to manage myself to be a very confident person in front of a crowd of people. And the last thing is how to organize our group to be one of the best group in this session. So we move to the last question. So we start with Ain Masita again. So Miss Ain Masita, what is one thing that you still afraid of some issues? What is it?
Okay, as well all know, various people communicate in very different ways. How to play in my head, how to interact well with many people. So the question is whether we should go our own ways or theirs. That's all I mean.
Okay, thank you, Miss Ain Mashita. So we move to the Miss Anis. So Miss Anis, what is one thing that you afraid about some issues? What are they?
So as we know, the way of communicating with each other has a different way. So how to play in my mind is it uh how to communicate in a good way with different people. So the question is it they will judge me when I'm speaking and follow our way? That's all from me.
Okay, thank you, Miss Anis. So we move to Miss Arisha. Miss Arisha, what is one thing that you still afraid about some issues? What is it?
As we all know, some people not understand in the way of communicate on another people. However, many people have their own way of speaking and communicate in different ways. As example, in PEC201, there are some people in Chinese, Indian, Siamese, and Malay, and as you know, that is a problem with communication barriers. In addition, everyone has their own manner of speaking, and and yes, there are many ways of communicate for each other. That's all for me.
Okay, thank you, Miss Arisha. So we move to the Miss Shafika. So Miss Shafika, based on your opinion, what is one thing that you still afraid about some issues? What is it?
I'm afraid about, as we know, the way of communicating with each other has very different ways. How to play in my head, how to communicate in a good way with different people. So the question is whether it is necessary to follow our way or theirs. That's all.
Okay, thank you, Miss Shafika. But based on myself, the one thing that I still afraid about some issues is if I lost my confidence, or if I lost my confidence when I need to talk or to do something in front of huge crowd of people. That's all from me. That's all from us. Thank you and goodbye from Team Meledak.
Thank you.
Thank you.